friend, friends, you are welcome. I am Olivia Robertson, and I offer to be your guide in the mystical awakening of the constellation of Cancer and of the dragon goddess Tiamat at the time of the summer solstice, when the sun enters that ancient constellation, time when souls descend into earth for earthly experience as they ascend in the sign of Capricorn. Now, if you like, you can turn off your tape just to get a glass of water, because I want you to drink one at the end of this session. I don't want you to lose consciousness, but you may feel a bit mousy, so don't go into traffic for about half an hour. Meanwhile, I want you to be really comfortable and anoint your brow with a circle with water. This will animate your third eye, your psychic center. Good. Shut your eyes and see within her vision. You rise into the sky, out of your time and place, whether it be winter, another land, and certainly another time. You are a denizen of the future. I am a voice from the past. But now I leave the past and come to you, and with the sound of my voice, I bring you back in time. And yet this time relates to eternity, because this is a spiritual experience of consciousness. You now rise through where you are like a mist, and you travel to the magical era, Inishfoil, land of destiny. You see below you the green land of Ireland, and the sun is reaching its zenith, for this is the eve of the summer solstice. You hover over a wooded valley surrounded by 7 hills, watched by the blue Mount Leinster and the black stairs range of Leinster Mountains. Between 2 silvery rivers, the mother and the daughter, is an ancient grey castle. Moving from the north of the castle is the mother river. We can think of her as Tiamat, and joining her is her daughter, the tributary, the river Derry Oak, and we can think of her as the daughter of Tiamat, the beautiful goddess of love, Ishtar. And the castle is on the matriarchal tributary, as was the ancient custom in Ireland. As we hover over the castle, though, we are a little puzzled, because we begin to see with etheric vision, and we see a curious building, if building it be, to the west of the castle. It is a silvery roofed building, square, and its measurements are 80 foot by 80 foot. And there's an open space in the middle, and the roof gleams softly. What is it? It is disguised as a giant barn. What? But what is curious is the castle is also square, grey, ancient. This looks almost belonging even to your future. And we see a line of rainbow-coloured power, for all the world like a dragon, moving deep from the castle. It's welling up from there, and we see a white light, which is a well. Now this coils widdershins, the path of the moon from right to left, swirling around. It comes out of the castle portico like a leaping lioness or dragon, and swirls around through an ancient yew walk, 600 years old, and it's swirling now in a great movement round the mysterious building in the west. It passes through a grove of trees. Now it comes nearer the building and forms a left to right dacial path of the sun round the building. And it enters it and forms another circle until there is a fourfold coil of the dragon whirling in this way. Solar power. So we see moon power and earth power from the castle moving one way in a helix movement, and a dacial movement of the sun in this other building, swirling from left to right. So we see a union of sun and moon. What is happening? What are the people doing on this solstice eve, the evening? Already we see a glimpse of the star of Venus, star of Ishtar, in the sky, and the pale form of the new moon in the west. Let us sink into the castle. We see a solemn crowd of people around the holy well. A lovely priestess wearing a silver crown and indigo robes draws water in a great pitcher from the well. Now we see a priest in a high silver headdress and flowing indigo robes lighting a basin of swirling incense, very large vessel. And we see other priestesses following this lady, each with her own pitcher. They draw water from this well, which is deep within an ancient temple of Isis. There's total silence, only the ringing of bells and soft music. Headed by two guardians of the temple, priests, they are now winding their way out past 9 columns through the very entrance where we saw this dragon power leave. They are bringing power from the temple to this other strange place. Now they follow the path of the dragon round through this dark yew walk. Priestesses and priests in indigo and silver robes. The priests are hooded. They move their way, and we notice the incense is carried and the smoke flows behind the priests. And the priestesses hold tenderly their pitchers of water as if the water itself was holy, and it has been blessed. They make their way to the building with the silver roof. Let us come with them. They are rising up a very small hill, straight path, with a line of newly planted lime trees on the left, and on the right a wooded glade of oak trees. Now we see through the newly planted lime trees a wonderful panorama begins to show. We've left the deeply hidden wooded earth and water temple of Isis, and we're beginning to see the panorama of the blue Mount Leinster with its ancient cairn and 2 violet hills on either side, and patchwork hills and Scotch pines. What a remarkable view. We realize that the silver building is oriented, or rather facing to the southwest. These mountains, the procession follows the path of the dragon 4 times, first outside the building. Then they enter. Come, what is in here? Do we expect an altar? What? When we enter, we are amazed. This is like nothing we have ever seen. There are 24 stone monoliths, standing stones within. At the 4 quarters, which are diagonal, there are 8 mighty granite monoliths that come from Normandy, so the power can come in an X shape from each corner. Now, there are 8 other monoliths arranged in 2s, and these are square slate from Cumbria. And we could almost imagine an extraterrestrial entity phasing in on one of them. The whole place is so strange. However, we still follow the procession, forming the dacial dragon path of Tiamat. Round the centre are 8 standing monoliths in pairs, as if in solemn conclave, and these are from Ireland, black Kilkenny marble. We observe in the centre myriad-coloured stones, and a stone vessel which holds rainwater collected from the empty roof. Quietly now, still with burning incense and pictures, they form a circle around the empty space within this strange temple, and the first priest speaks.
Companions on the quest for occult wisdom hidden within the great deep, know that the sign of Cancer was reverenced in remote antiquity. In the 4th month of the Chaldean Duzu, it is the northern gate of the sun whence, at the summer solstice, it commences its retrograde movement. With Scorpio and Pisces, Cancer forms a watery trigon. To the Coptic Egyptians, this sign was the power of darkness of the jackal Anubis, guide of the dead, a deity of Sirius. It was known as the dark sign with no eyes. The ancient Egyptians knew it as Scarabaeus, the beetle Kephara that holds the mud ball of earth. Cancer is depicted as Saka, the water beetle of immortality, in the most ancient zodiac known, found in the Temple of Isis, in the Dendera Temple of Hathor.
Here it is my task now to declare the intention of this solstice ceremony. The intention is to blend the feminine, gentle rays of the moon with the overactive, masculine energies of the sun, so that the feminine sun, the warmth of the heart, be made more manifest, and the psychic powers of men in the moon be enhanced, so the balance of Cancer, the 6 and the 9, yin and yang, may be brought about. So the ancient ceremony of Aquarius, of the ancient Babylonians, is here enacted. Solemnly, the priestesses encircle the vessel of water, Widdershins, path of the moon, carrying their pitchers of water. They hold up their pitchers when they pass the new moon. Then I utter these words. We offer this libation of pure well water, sprung from the depths of our earth in our temple of Isis, in union with the god Apsu, so that goddess and god are one. At this time of the new moon of Cancer, of the summer solstice, so a new aeon is begun. At these words, the priestesses pour the well water into the rain water that has been warmed by the sun for many weeks, and the priests lift up their incense bowls so that the swirling smoke rises into the sky. Friend, let us join now the companions in a meditation upon the union of Tiamat and Apsu, sun and moon, space and stars, and on harmony with our own beings of action and gentleness, movement and stillness, love and truth. Let us meditate upon the dragon of creation. But as we meditate, we notice there is another power here. The swirling dragon is concentrated in the center, in the basin of water, and now a mighty 8-pointed star is formed that pours out through the 8 channels between the 24 stones. Thus shineth forth the star of Ishtar. The star of creation is with us. Let us meditate on these 2 powers, the gentle mother spiral and the creative power of Ishtar, Queen of Heaven. We are seated here in a circle with the companions in deep meditation. And as we sit, psychically, we see the great star of Ishtar beginning to rise. It is strengthened by the swirling coils of the Tiamat power, which is many-coloured. The star of Ishtar rises now up through the temple, and we see its rays penetrating out to the world, to the northern lands, to the lands of the east, to the south, to the southwest, to Mount Leinster. And we see the cairn shine forth in response, moves on, round again, west and north. Feel now this power rising up in your own body, rising, carried by the coils of Tiamat, so you're in perfect resonance, all your centres in harmony. The power joins the power of Ishtar, and if you have any intention for the world, any good, this is cosmic awareness, so send forth any good you would have. for our earth in relationship to the mighty ones, Tiamat and Ishtar, and all beings of the constellation of Cancer. We see now the companions stand on their feet, impelled by this power, and they hold their arms up, first facing inwards to each other, hands up, and they too, like you and me, receive this holy power of Ishtar and Tiamat. We wish good to all, and we turn outwards now with our arms raised and send good to the 4 quarters, the 8 directions, with blessing. The whole company follow the habit of the ancient Babylonians, who used the mighty rivers Tigris and Euphrates, and they place their fingers in the basin of water in token of cleansing themselves from all the sins committed against nature and the promise of renewal. The company now begin to do a most beautiful moon dance. The men enact the part of the sun of the coming solstice and move through these extraordinary monoliths from left to right. This is a practice dance, but you can imagine it if you feel like being the sun or the moon. The women choose to be the moon, the inner, and they dance widdershins from right to left, going in and around the columns until we see an intricate pattern. Then, to make it more interesting, the men pick up the incense and we see the glowing embers and the smoke, and they circle around. However, now the men hand the incense to the women, who take it, and the women follow the path of the sun, Grania, the sun goddess, and the men follow the path of the moon, of Apsu and of space. So we see that men and women both use the power of positive and receptive energies of sun and moon in their own way. Join the dance softly, gently, in your psychic body. This is no ordinary dance. As the dancers move, we begin to see they are using the energies of this place. Yes, they're working some rainbow pattern. Each aura glows with its own iridescent light. Rose, green, violet, blue, silver. We notice all the colours of a very muted, subtle shade not known on earth. Like the colours of the rainbow, or colours of oil on water, the colours of a seashell. Feel this power now as you dance, circulating through you. Then we realize the little pool in the middle is joining the mighty sea of the new age, the pool of Aquarius. The oceans of Aquarius come from the still pool of Cancer. At this point, the company, who have expended considerable energy in dancing and receiving it, all sink gently to the ground to meditate, to contemplate. Let us visit the land of Tir na Og. We see that our dance has created a mighty halo of light all around this place, and we rise gently above it, you and me and the company. And we look down now on this place and the castle, and we see that it is Tir na nog, wherever the lonely heart calls for love, whenever the true seeker longs for wisdom, there is the eternal land of High Brazil, in a bed-sitting room, in a garret, in a terrible slum, in a palace, in a temple, in a glade of trees. There is Tir na nog, for it is in yourself. You have found the magic key. Finding Tir na nog wherever you are, you bring it to others, for heaven is no heaven when one is alone. As we meditate, we know we are linking with the star energies of the constellation of Cancer, for though the universe looks big to us, it is only a part of the body of the goddess, as the atoms are to our, so we may be in resonance with the zodiac, if we so choose. Yes, you matter. Without your own peculiarity, your originality, the mother goddess is incomplete. Let us turn now and find to be pleased we are different, because that difference is the goddess. Alas, we must come back. The companions are slowly coming back from contemplation. The first priest offers thanks.
We give thanks to Tiamat and Apsu.
But as the rest of the priesthood give thanks, their voice seems rather to disappear. Is it because everything's getting a bit dark on this night of the summer solstice? Or why is everyone looking so shadowy? What are they doing? They are forming a procession in reverse way to the way they came. They are leaving, and now we're rising a little above them, so we watch them as a beautiful procession forming the coil of Tiamat, fourfold, on the path of the moon. And we come out of the temple, and we see their line is following the dragon. But this time they are dispersing the star of Tiamat, which is still there as a glow in the sky. And we see the moon is strengthening, and a few stars are appearing. And we know at this longest day of the year that the sun will shine, as Groinia, the sun goddess, with her consort, the sun god, and all has the peaceful harmony of Tiamat. And the procession follows the path of the dragon, and we rise into the air to enjoy it better. We guess now that they're going to follow the sun path back to the temple. But what are they bringing with them? They have relighted the incense, and the priestesses have filled their pitchers with rainwater mingled with well water from the temple, so there is true exchange. We see the procession re-enter the temple of Isis, and we look down upon the castle, and we rise, and we see much brighter light on the path of the dragon. It is gleaming and shining, and the star of Ishtar is rising into the heavens. It hasn't disappeared, but it's dispersing to bring light to all who are tuned to us, to the good in all faiths and all peoples. But what about yourself? Why not come back now, bringing this light within you to your own time and place? You return to your own body and make a sound to come back. That's it. Come back like a hand slipping into a glove. I'm Olivia Robertson, speaking from Clonigore Castle, and my brother Lawrence Durden Robertson, and we all send you love and blessings, attuned to us any time, especially at dawn and dusk, from the Fellowship of Isis, Clonigore Castle, Enniscorthy, South Ireland. Ave et vale, hail, and farewell.